are getting ready to make a choice to be in a band, which is leading up to hers. And what I always do is I do a whole semester on learning to play the recorder in depth every week so they get those fingers down and learn how to read the music to prepare them for that. They're bored. Some of them love it, some of them hate it, some of them could take it or leave it. I want to get them excited about it. I want them to see that all the stuff that we've been learning is for a purpose, not just to be a band, but to decode this whole language of music, that when you see these things on paper, you can pick up not just the recorder, but go to a piano or any band instrument and play it, and it can be something. That they can put these notes on paper. So I have decided to change my whole approach and method of teaching recorder to incorporate something called ORF. And I've had to go through 2 weeks of training, and it is a language-based approach of teaching music with xylophones. So while we're doing recorder, I'm going to incorporate the language approach with the xylophone so it's all intermingled.
So my project was basing on actually making a guide on the best practices on how to recruit for beginning band. And I plan on doing that by sending out surveys. How do you recruit? Do you have a concert? Do you send letters out? Do you have a parent meeting? Do you have this? Just so that way, and it's also somewhat different, like finding in my research, even schools in different areas, like the socioeconomic areas, they all use the same exact recruiting techniques. And I work with Dawn. It's a rare situation that we're in a K-8 school, because she literally is across the hallway from me, and I don't have to go, across town to see 5th graders to say, hey, join band. I could just literally go across the hallway. Or, I'm very fortunate to work with Dawn, because she will promote band for me. And, because part of our plan is, here's a PowerPoint, Dawn, can you show this to your kids and talk about band? And last year I actually went in and took over her 5th grade classes for, I think it was 3 weeks. And I just taught PowerPoint. I showed a PowerPoint, what is band? I showed all the instruments. I had my kids play them. And that was that worked really, really well. So now we're trying to get even more kids. It'd be great to have 100% of 5th grade join band, but that's my only dream. I don't think it'll ever happen. So that's pretty much my main goal, and I'm going to do it by. And the last time that our collaborative met, they talked about, because I didn't have this in my project, to get surveys from the students, like, why did you join band? What made you decide? Was it the PowerPoint? Was it your friend? Was it because your mom had a clarinet? So those kind of things. So I'm going to survey the students. And then also the band directors about their best practices, techniques, and what they think works. And then after all that, then I go through my whole recruitment process, which is going to be a more organized manner, hopefully a nice booklet. And just by reading a bunch of research, there's tons of research on recruitment, but it's not specific to just recruitment. It also has retention, which is another thing. How do I keep the kids in band? How do I keep their interest? How do I keep my numbers up?
That's probably
Yeah, and it has a lot to do with sort of like her research with teacher personality, teacher motivation. That's what band really has a lot to do with too. You have to be that teacher that gets up there and is a comedian one day, and you have to be that fun teacher, keep them in that, because your class is a choice. I'm a choice. They don't have to pick me. And I think that's pretty much, that's pretty much it. But so we kind of collaborate together, and hopefully these 2 projects will be awesome.
I would make an effort to speak to her, and I started to see the direct relationship, my mood, my actions, versus the way the students reacted to me. And then I found out about the teacher research project, and I said, okay, I've had students that have had success, been successful, I've turned them around. Now I need to sit down and look what worked with them. Instead of just trying to pull things out of thin air, I need to get concrete ideas. I need to see what works. How am I going to reach more children? I can focus on this one, but hopefully by changing my teacher, changing my approach to the classroom, then it's going to change more of the students. and help them become a success.